My name is Alexandra Legui and I'm here at Silverstone for the Marangoni Production BMW Championships and Project 8 Racing Saloons. Greg Graham, brand manager of Marangoni Tyres. How are you today?
Yeah, absolutely fine, Alex. Really excited about my first outing in the Marangoni sponsored production BMW Championship. So yeah, it's a nice day for racing. Let's hope I can get to the end.
Marangoni is an Italian brand. Why have they chosen the production BMW Championships?
We wanted a championship that was well run, and it really is professionally run for an entry-level championship. It's clean racing, it's very competitive racing because the cars are all very much alike. And you know, fortunately they were looking for an additional sponsor, and we were there, you know, at the right time. So I think it could be a long-term project for us, and you know, like I say, it could give us some good brand visibility. All of our tyres are available through QuickFit, and the guys are here offering race support, offering technical support as well, which adds another aspect, you know, to support an already fantastic championship. The race is full entry. You know, there are reserves for this weekend that aren't going to race, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a good year for production BMWs, Marangoni and QuickFit.
And hopefully for yourself, Greg.
Well, I might be tailing around the back a little bit, but I'm going to have fun anyway.
We've got Mike Dugdale in first place. With just a second behind him, though, is Sadler and Catliff in third. Now, because both championships are running together, down on row 7, we've got Ben Winrow in first place for the production BMWs. With them all mixed up together, it's going to be a very exciting race. 60 cars on the track. It's going to be hot.
And no formation lap for the Marangoni Tyres Production BMW Championship in association with QuickFit and the Project 8 Racing Saloons. Robert Sadler there, second on the grid. A clear run for him into Copse Corner. It isn't for anybody else. The red lights are on. It's about to get very busy here at Silverstone. Away we go. It's a super start from Sadler from second on the grid. Now, will he have had the legs on Mike Dugdale in towards Copse Corner? The field moves off on Masson. Yes, it is just Sadler who's got the advantage into Copse. Elliot Dunmore having good scrap with Don Hughes. Darren Stamp, next man through in hot pursuit. So the first third of the field cleanly through Copse. Everybody else just about through. The production BMW squabbling for position. We're in car with Harry Goodman as we turn into Maggots. First time Valsky gets a little bit congested ahead of him, and around we go. Harry Goodman just losing the rear of the car. Not really his fault actually. The cars in front jumped on the brakes, imbalancing the car, and around he went. Good recovery, unfortunately less so for Dean Spur and Kevin Welsh. They've come into contact. Welsh recovers, so should Dean Spur. Yes, there he goes, but at the very back of the field, they are both quick drivers. Be good to see how they progress up through the pack as Mike Dugdale has now moved into the lead of the race, with then Sadler in second, Roger Kneebone in third in hot pursuit. Nigel Innes is next up in fourth. Here comes the Don Hughes Elliot Dunmore battle. And what about the production BMW race? It's being led by James McIntyre. He's 2 cars in front of us. Mike Toby riding car with is second, working the wheel through Club, and a smooth exit is absolutely key as we accelerate up past the wing pits here at Silverstone. These cars don't have the highest top speed, and therefore every mile now they can carry on to the straights is essential. So into Abbey Curve goes the production BMW battle as breaking into Village now comes the race leader Mike Dugdale, with Robert Sadler trying to chase him down, snatching the break there. Mike Dugdale, good scrap going on further back, and then the Don Hughes and Dunmore battle. Darren Stamp looking to the inside of the Jaguar, trying to squeeze through. Here comes James McIntyre with them Mike Tovey, Ben Winrow and Stuart Waite. Liam Crilly in 5th in the production BMW fight, with the rest of them all just about squeezing through. And the driving standards in this championship normally very, very strong. Simon Glenn in the 97 car on to the Wellington straight for him. The yellow and red card system promoted by the organiser John Wilcox really does ensure clean driving. Has Dugdale had a problem? Yes, he had. We've got a change of leader here. It's Robert Sadler from Roger Kneebone and Mike Dugdale. So Dugdale has run into trouble. It's then Stephen Pearson who's come up into 4th position. So out of our sight, the pole sitter Mike Dugdale has encountered some issues already, though. He's trying to find his way back up into 2nd position. He challenges to the outside of Roger Kneebone into Maggots, no way through there, so jinking through Beckett's instead. Dugdale will be concentrating on getting a good run onto the hanger straight. He's very smooth there through Beckett's, accelerating now on towards Chapel Curve. Running onto the grass is Roger Kneebone, and that surely is going to enable Dugdale to move up as here comes the fight in the BMWs, and Ben Winrow to the inside of Mike Tovey, almost swapping door handles. Stuart Waite in very hot pursuit behind Tovey, last year's champion, scrapping with the former Renault Clio Cup champion Ben Winrow, also the winner of the 2010 Bath Trofeo as well. Ben Winrow, very successful saloon car racer. Kneebone did slip down in third position. He's now got Stephen Pearson to worry about. Pearson in the bright orange BMW, chasing down the red car. Roger Kneebone is still in lead of the race. Robert Sadler. Dugdale trying to just get himself onto the tail of Sadler. I think if Dugdale can get up to the tail of Sadler, he might be able to find a way through. Accelerating absolutely flat out through Farm, breaking into Village now, looking to the inside. Possibly there was Stephen Pearson. He couldn't quite find a way through, so he has to content himself with fourth position, at least through Loop. Then if he can get on the power nice and early, he could possibly wind up that BMW through Aintree and down the Wellington Straight. Back in car with Mike Tovey. There's James McIntyre ahead of him, still leading the production BMW race, and here comes Ben Winrow moving into second place. Very clean move up the inside into Vale, so Winrow goes second and Tovey shuffled down into third position. But again, he'll be looking to settle into his slipstream. Winrow, of course, winning 2 races, the opening rounds of the championship at Brands Hatch a couple of weeks ago. Mike Tovey, though, uses the slipstream, looks the inside into Abbey. That'll be brave, he tries it there. So instead he just settles back into line. What's the next battle we've got to look for? It is Don Hughes and Elliot Dunmore, with then Nigel Innes in the 1-2-3 car just behind them. It's Elliot Dunmore in the red Toyota moving ahead of the Peugeot of Don Hughes. And Don, again, a podium finisher at Brands Hatch for the opening races in the Project 8 season. That was a very fine performance from Don, really punching above his weight in the car that's got significantly less power. Nigel Innes, though, has been entertaining the crowds all weekend here at Silverstone with his sideways driving style, and he's continuing that qualifying momentum into the race as he tries to drive his way up through the pack. In car with Mike Tovey as Winrow goes side by side with McIntyre. This is the challenge for the lead in the production BMW Championship race, and around the outside looks Ben Winrow. James McIntyre squeezed on the inside, has a bit of ball, makes contact with Winrow and runs wide. McIntyre looks to rejoin, he squeezes Winrow, who tags Stuart Waite, and around goes Stuart Waite. Completely innocent in all of that was Stuart Waite. We saw that building. McIntyre just carried too much speed into Brooklands, and now Stuart Waite's going to be demoted here by Liam Crilly as well. Also Matthew Parks looking to squeeze through in the 138 car, and Crilly does make that move stick. Frustration there for Stuart Waite. It's Mike Tovey, therefore, who's inherited the lead in the Marangoni Tyres Production BMW Championship race. They're running a little bit wide through Cops Corner there. Right, here's the replay, and we see McIntyre runs wide. He just tags Ben Winrow, who's unsettled, who tips Stuart Waite into spin. There was really nothing that Winrow could do about that, and Stuart Waite, totally innocent, but he unfortunately was the driver who found himself rotating. Well, battles throughout the field as ever in the Marangoni Tyres Production BMW Championship. It's why it's so popular with the competitors. Here's Ian Francis in the bright red car, involved in the scrap. This is towards the back of the field. They're actually fighting out over 50th position as back to the head of the BMW battle, and Mike Tovey under real pressure now from Ben Winrow. But the word from the pit lane is that Winrow's got a 5-second penalty for not observing the track limit. So Ben Winrow, not only is he going to get past Mike Tovey, he's then got to pull 5 seconds clear of Mike. He goes past. Brilliant move into maggots from Ben Winrow. Very, very brave. Mike Tovey fighting the wheel, though, immediately latching himself back onto his tail, and that is not good news for Ben Winrow, as Nigel Innes has raced himself up past Elliot Dunmore and Don Hughes, turning into Village, and around he goes. Nigel Innes rotating, bouncing on the suspension, so all those places he just gained he has now lost, because here they come back past him, waits for a gaffer in traffic, rejoined. Mirror signal maneuver really to rejoin the race there from Nigel Innes. Well, at least he's going to have cars to overtake. He accelerates out of the loop and through Aintree down the Wellington Straight. Here comes the battle. Here comes Nigel, Colin McRae Innes. What will we see into Brooklands? He tries to challenge Elliot Dunmore on the brakes. The rear of the car slides around. Has a big, big slide there, does Nigel Innes, but he holds on to it, entertaining the crowds here at Silverstone. And actually very fine car control. Back to the production BMWs of Mike Tovey and James McIntyre, as McIntyre looks around the outside of Mike Tovey, and that is effectively to take the lead in the production BMW race, because Ben Winrow, we can see him there just through Mike Tovey's windscreen. He's not 5 seconds clear of Mike yet, so this race is for the overall honours, even though it is actually for second place on the road. moment, it's in Mike Tovey's favour as we head towards the closing stages here on the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. Perfect synchronised sliding there for the BMWs as they head down the Wellington Hangar straight, and Tovey in pursuit of James McIntyre, so he couldn't quite squeeze through. Still the battles continue as Robin Oliver turns ahead of Declan Russell. Ian Turner, again the fight for 50th continues. Super scrap for them, thoroughly enjoying themselves, and after all that is the most important thing. Well, Harry Goodman, we saw spin early in the race. He's recovering up through the field. He was recovering up through the field. He's now had another minor rotation. He should rejoin without too many problems. He's not come into contact with anything. So Harry Goodman, one of the stars at Brands Hatch earlier in the year, rejoins. Now this is how it felt from Harry's point of view. Over the curb, plant the right foot, over planting the right foot, around we go, across the grass, finding the gear, as into Luffield for the final time is Mike Dugdale. So Dugdale found his way past Robert Sadler, and our pole sitter on course to win the first race of the weekend from the Project 8 Racing Saloons. And it is the win for Mike Dugdale. Great drive from him, winning it from Sadler, and Stephen Pearson claiming a slightly distant third position. What about the Marangoni Tyres Production BMW Championship? Here we come into Brooklands for the final time, and Winrow's not got 5 seconds over Mike Tovey. So it is going to be Mike Tovey who claims the victory in the first race of the weekend in the Production BMW. It's a super race. So Winrow crosses the line, he takes the flag, and here comes Mike Tovey, who just about holds on from James McIntyre. And on adjusted time, it actually means that McIntyre claims second, with Ben Winrow rounding out the podium in third position. He'll look to make amends from that in race 2. Super race, and Mike Dugdale receives the round of applause as he steps onto the top of the podium. Gets the handshake and the bubbly from Alex Shaw of MSVR. And Mike, determined to celebrate this victory, spraying the onlookers in pit lane. Somewhat irate looking Ben Winrow jogs onto the podium. James McIntyre an excellent second, and then the win for the delighted Mike Tovey after a super drive.
Okay, Mike Tovey, what a fantastic result. What a race.
Yeah, it was a battle for a whole 25 minutes. I think I started back in 5th place, managed to get an awesome start, got myself up to 3rd with a good battle with Ben, got in front, and then just swap places for the whole
It just seemed to be endless swapping all the way through.
Yeah, there was some good lunges. There was a few dodgy manoeuvres which luckily I was out of the way of, and I did pick up the pieces of a few of them, which was good for me.
Well, that was a very exciting race 1. Join us after the break for race 2.